Welcome to Waters of Memory. My name is Eric. I help you cut through the fog, discover your true desires, heal, and live your purpose. You can schedule a coaching session with me or purchase my services through my website in the link tree down in the description. If you like what I do here on YouTube, you can support me for as little as $5 a month over on Patreon, and I offer a range of healings, cleansings, rites, attunements, and empowerments at the higher tiers. I've been seeing the idea making the rounds that people should be more delusional in pursuing their goals, and I've never liked that approach. Firstly, I've met too many reincarnations of Aleister Crowley and Lyrian starseeds to think that encouraging anyone to be delusional is a good idea. But for me, if I'm thinking of I'm delusional getting mixed into the concrete that forms the foundation of my beliefs, then I don't think that any structures I build on top of that foundation will remain standing a decade out. Now, I've been reading self-help books and personal development blogs since the early 2000s. This idea has made the rounds before, it will make the rounds again. And I have firsthand experience attempting a truly delusional belief that did not end well for me. I grew up as a fat kid, and what's one of the first things a fat kid's going to think to do if he controls reality? It's like, well, I can eat whatever I want and maintain a healthy weight and suffer no health consequences. I suffered health consequences because going forward with this belief that I could just will the calories to be utilized optimally by my flesh, it completely ignored the reason that I even wanted that in the first place. Because I had a binge eating disorder. And a binge eating disorder at its core is an addiction. And what that addiction signified is that I could not sit with my boredom. I could not sit with discomfort. And I could not deal with conflict and other unpleasant things about life. So, proceeding off the basis that I could do whatever I wanted with this power, I'm very glad that I stopped when I did, because I shudder to think how poor my health would be today if I did not break away from it. Now, technically, the belief that I can eat whatever I want and maintain my health is not a delusional belief, but my definition of what I want had to change for that to be possible. So at this stage of my life, I would say that that is the truth. I have accomplished that shift, but it was a mindset shift. The thing that I had envisioned is not something that I think would be possible under any circumstances. And even if it was, I don't want to be able to eat an entire box of Little Debbie's anymore. I'm past that phase of my life. And I'm happy that I am now at a stage where if I decide to get a cinnamon roll, I might leave half of it uneaten because I get full. That feeling of fullness is something that I have only experienced in my adult life, and I cherish it. So, in terms of what you want to accomplish, it's always helpful to think maybe it's more realistic than you think. Because if you're telling yourself that something relatively simple is delusional, then you're probably making it more complicated, either than it has to be or even that it can be. I've been on the yo-yo diet many times in my life. And the thing I can tell you about weight loss is that there's no magic diet. There is no single regimen that is perfect for everyone. And contrary to popular belief, exercise doesn't do much for weight. It's very good for your health. You should exercise. But in terms of losing weight and maintaining a healthy weight, almost all of that's done in the kitchen. The thing that's going to get you where you want to be is consistency. And the best regimen for you is going to involve a lot of consistency. So if you want to make that happen, even if it feels delusional just because you've never experienced thinness or health before, I get that. I've been there. understand that committing to it is what will get you there, and not thinking that the end you have in mind is delusional, and that you should take on like this delusional uh, relationship to the world and to your end goal in order to get and achieve that end. Going further with this, there are times where maybe you want something that is extremely ambitious and there are no guarantees. It's not delusional to commit fully to that. It's not delusional to say, I don't know if this is possible, but I'm going to speak as if it's an inevitability simply because I'm going to pour everything I have into making it a reality. And I will transform in whatever way serves this end that I have in mind. For someone who wants to become a millionaire within their lifetime, that's mostly down to consistency and making wise budgeting choices. If somebody has any extra income whatsoever, it may take 10 years, it may take 30, but it's basically about saving money and investing it smartly. If you want to make $100 million, well, you're going to need a good bit of luck, to put it mildly. But it's also a situation where I'm not sure I would encourage anyone to pursue the dollar amount just in and of itself. For me personally, money is an empty goal. It doesn't motivate me whatsoever. The kind of lifestyle that I want, that I enjoy, if I'm thinking strictly in terms of what I want and the pleasures that I would enjoy having in my life, my ambitions would not take me much beyond a $250,000 home and enough books to fill a study, enough games to fill a game room, and a bench and some dumbbells. I'm fine with that. My lifestyle would barely change if you handed me $100 million, just for my own spending. But if I had the goal of improving my community, if I had the goal of employing friends, if I had the goal of building a company that would outlast me, that would form a legacy, that's a completely different story. Now, with any of those goals, I could see committing so completely that maybe it's possible and maybe it's not for me to get exactly what I'm aiming for here, but I'm going to go forward as if it's inevitable, just on the basis that I'm not leaving myself an avenue of retreat. I'm not leaving myself an avenue to waste my energies on things that are not aligned with these aims that I have in front of me. If you have a general in a battle that looks hopeless, he's not going to lead his army to victory if he's leading them with the mindset that they're all doomed. Contrary to what a lot of people want to admit, many battles are won and lost on the basis of morality, on the basis of morale alone. And if someone is leading their army with the intent to carve out victory wherever it can possibly be found, then they're going to see opportunities they otherwise wouldn't see. They're going to be able to make miracles happen. They're going to make the seemingly impossible possible. And even if they fail, well, that's how legends get made. You want to go into things willing to lay everything on the field so that when it's all said and done, you don't have any regrets. I would always encourage someone to approach things in a way where you're giving it everything you've got. If this is really important to you, you're giving everything you've got. You do not stop until you have fully exhausted yourself. You do not stop until it is clear that there is no way to go any further with it. And you can lay down and be at peace with the fact that you've done everything you can. And when you approach life with that kind of tenacity and that kind of courage, because it takes courage to live like that or to pursue certain goals in that way, well, that's when the things that people would consider delusional tend to come into play. Because if you actually need a miracle, it is most likely to meet you where you have given everything that you have. That'll do it for this video. Thank you all for joining me. Go ahead and leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share it with your friends. I'll see you guys on the next video.